So, you went no contact, and now you're stuck. So what do you do now? Well, there are two ways to deal with breakups. The first way is the excruciatingly painful way, where you suffer through no contact and hold out hope for months or years that your ex will realize the error of his ways and come back. Sounds like fun, right? Or there's the second way, I mean the right way, which I like to call steady decoupling. Stick around for 4 tips to help you move past no contact through the pain of the breakup so that you can heal and move on to a new and better relationship. Let's talk about what works. Steady decoupling is a concept I use with clients and friends alike when they're dealing with a breakup. It's effective because it puts the power back in your hands. You get to reclaim yourself and get your life back. And you know what? I know healing from a breakup isn't the most fun thing, but this is a really important process if you want your next relationship to be happy, healthy, and worthy of you. Does that sound good to you? I hope it does, because here's what happens if you don't do the work to heal after a breakup. I'm going to call upon my fictional friend Sally for this one. She's been struggling with getting over her ex for a few months now. She thinks that the breakup might only be temporary. Ever been in those shoes? They were a really good match, or so she thought. So she spends time every night sitting around staring at her phone, waiting for him to text. She doesn't reach out because she heard from some rando coach on YouTube that no contact is the way to get him back. If she could just hold out, he'll get desperate enough and come back to her. So she waits and waits. She doesn't go out with her friends because what if he reaches out and she's not there? What if he wants to see her and she's not available? She's hanging on to the hope of it working by her fingernails. And she's going to fight for this relationship because it's gonna work. But let's look at the facts. They broke up. So there are 2 ways that this could go. Either he never comes back, in which case she's wasted months or years of her life on this guy who's already moved on and isn't gonna come back. Or he does, but since nothing has actually changed, the relationship is doomed to fail again, pretty much in the exact same way. Now, back to Sally. One night, she finally gets the text she's been waiting for. Yes, she thinks, it worked! He wants me back. Thank the rom-com gods, because he's back in my life. But what actually happens is that he slides into your DMs, he's drunk, lonely, and or bored. She's full of hope and gives in, has some cuddles or sex, and thinks that this is gonna be them back together working it out. But he's the same jerk as before. He hasn't changed, so the things that broke them up in the first place are just likely to happen again. Rinse and repeat, we're back here in a couple of months. So now, Sally is hurt all over again. Clearly the strategy didn't work. What can she do differently this time so that she can move on and get back to her life being a powerful, awesome, amazing person? This time, Sally's gonna try it my way with steady decoupling. This time, she will rediscover her own self-worth and be able to set the strong boundaries she needs to in order to heal. Only then can she find a better relationship with a guy who respects her high self-worth and is worthy of her. So, if you, like Sally, are stuck trying to get over your ex and want something better, then give this video a thumbs up because I'm going to give you 4 things you can do right now to let go of him and move on with your life. Number 1, you really do have to go no contact. This is a really important first step, but let me be clear that no contact doesn't mean waiting around for your ex to come back. It means giving yourself the space you need to emotionally and physically separate yourself from him so you can move on and start to heal. I know how hard this can be because all you want after breakup is to reach out, chat, maybe even hook up and feel close to him again. Your ex was an important person in your life, I get it. But to move on, you need space and distance. Continued engagement is a bad idea. If Sally continues to talk to her ex, then she is still investing her time and emotions in him. She's not actually moving on or getting distance. This means that she can't move on to someone new and she can't let go of him, so her pain will continue. She may even rationalize her suffering as what she needs to do just to get him back. But I've been in this scenario before, and trust me, it doesn't feel good. It just gets your hopes up in order to get them dashed upon the rocks again. If you want to hear my story, check out the video link in the description below. Number 2, you have to remember him for who he is, not who you want him to be. One of the major hurdles to moving on after a breakup is that we tend to see our exes through rose-colored glasses. We remember the good times, the fun, the sex, the smile, and all the positive stuff. However, that's not the whole picture, and he's not that person. Because if that was truly all there was, you wouldn't be broken up with right now. You'd still be together. What you need to do is consciously remember what didn't work and why you broke up in the first place. Every time you start romanticizing your ex, realize that you are doing something that is actually just gaslighting yourself. You're telling yourself a lie about reality and then trying to believe it so that you can keep the romance going. So don't do that. If you find yourself wistfully remembering those lovely date nights, stop. Pull yourself back to the present and consciously choose to remember what didn't work and why the two of you aren't compatible. Go ahead, write in the comments and tell me one thing that wasn't so great about your ex. Let's start here. While this process might be painful at first, it will help you let go and move on faster. I promise. Number 3, stop fighting for someone who isn't fighting for you. After a breakup, it's common to want to fight for a relationship, even though it's already lost. You rationalize what didn't work. You tell yourself, it really wasn't that bad, or we just had a couple of things to work out. You might even be defending him to your friends. In that moment, you feel strongly that he's the guy for you and that you'll be able to get him back. But take a moment and ask yourself, is he fighting for you? Is he fighting for your relationship? Really look and see if his actions, not his words, his actions show that he even wants you back. More often than not, what I see is that the woman is invested and he isn't, and he's already moved on. This is especially true in the case if he's broken up with you and you're the one hanging on to the relationship. So the truth is, if your ex isn't fighting for you, acknowledging what didn't work and trying to make it better, then you're wasting your valuable time and energy and getting back nothing. Your ex does not see the relationship as worth fighting for. Otherwise, he would be here fighting for it, and he isn't. So at ease, soldier of love. The war is over and you lost, so lay down your arms and start to heal. Be like Taylor Swift and take a match to all your wasted time, burn that picture, and move on. Number 4, start a new relationship with yourself. When you've been in a long-term or serious relationship, you get used to seeing yourself as a couple. You might think in we terms. You consider him. You make plans together. You might even have been living together, sharing space and meals and a Netflix account. This interdependence is natural since you expect that you're going to continue to be in each other's lives for a long time. So once you've broken up, there's a whole lot of adjusting you need to do for a while. It might feel like a piece of you actually feels like it's missing. Watch out if this starts leading you to sadness or depression, or a feeling like you just can't do it alone. If you've ever felt that way, I want you to listen closely. You were a perfectly capable and complete person before you got together with your ex. And you are still that same strong, powerful, independent person now. What you need to do is focus on getting yourself back in order, moving on, and being the incredibly able person you are. Moping may feel good for a while, but it doesn't get you anywhere. You're a woman with high self-worth and deserve a man who recognizes that. So dust yourself off, toss your ex in the recycler, and get your head back in the game called life. 'Cause you're worthy of a great relationship.